WildCATS mission log. Entry 12.7. Jacob Marlowe speaking.
Well, nice to see you too.
You promised you wouldn't tell the WildCATS where I went.
Wildstormers, what is happening? Alright, now, this video frustrates me so much because it's been a few weeks since I live streamed Wildstorm Wednesday, and that's mostly because I just been, like, in this rhythm of doing night work, the IT life, and I just gotta go in and do work on these servers, and a lot of it's still COVID restrictions and all these things. But guess what? I'm coming to you just with a straight up episode of something. I had to buy these. They blew my mind. I had no idea they existed. What are they? Well, if you haven't guessed from the thumbnail and the video title, we got some WildCat children's books. I had no idea that these things were even a thing. Let's hit the drawing table and have a closer look. I had to buy them 3x3. So here's the thing. First caveat. Okay, these are the only two. Second caveat, these were released during the time, if you just need some context, of Skeleton Warriors. Now, this is the context of this, okay? We all know about Jim Lee, we all know about Image Comics, we know all that jargon, okay? But WildCATS, along with Street Sharks, SWAT Cats, Biker Mice from Mars, Can I Talk, and Skeleton Warriors, it was a big push to get some of the excitement from the properties of the 80s. They were just trying to continue these ideas that were already popular, and WildCATS was there front and center. Keep in mind, SNES video game, Playmates, Toy Line, USA Network, or CBS. It was CBS Action Zone. So there was a significant push to get that next big thing. And WildCATS now not only is a failure of that push, but it's also a failure of Jim Lee. I think it's Jim Lee's absolute best failure. I would say C23 was his next greatest failure, and then Divine Right being the third. But hey, don't judge me by my successes, judge me by my failures. So we just gotta point this out, okay? This Jim Lee cover. Now, this is probably some concept design work he did for Nevada Studios, who did the animation for WildCATS. This image alone, I always wanted to see more from the great Jim Lee with this style, which is, it's more of a cartoon animation style where he's using line work with shots of black. We see someone here with Maul. We see the black underneath Grifter here. So this is very much the style of the time. Exo Squad used this style. X-Men Anime Cartoon used this style. Mighty Max used this style. All those great animation attempts, by the way. But I just had to get these. I had to have a look to see if there was like additional artwork or whatever. But these are full novels. These would be great to. I mean, if you got these at like the Scholastic trailer show where you would let out of your classroom, your parents give you about $5. You buy whatever books you can. Usually they tell you what books you can afford with your money. Yeah, it's just, I had to see what the artwork was like on the inside of these, on the interior. Now, tell me, right, I believe this is a Maul from a J. Scott Campbell insert trading card. I mean, you can kind of see the J. Scott mouth there. So I haven't really done a deep dive on the source of some of this artwork, where it was at the time there was a WildCATS Adventures TV comic book that adapted more episodes of the TV show. I believe it may have had original stories. That's on my list too, to do a big video discussion over. Got Maul and Voodoo here. Maul and Voodoo is a great combo that always worked in my eyes. Isn't it depressing that Maul's not even in the new WildCATS? This new one that they announced, WildCATS Volume 8 or 9. Jeez, who can keep track? Look at that. I'm telling you, WildCATS, they were there. That's why this is exciting. It's amazing that it never caught on. This looks like a Kirby drawing. The Wildstorm Kirby, not the Marvel DC Comics Jack Kirby. Just really nice stuff. But anyways, people, Wildstormers out there, I just wanted to share these with you because I couldn't find anything pre-purchase of these. So I got them for cheap. Any Wildstormer out there that might want my doubles, just reach out to me. Let me know. And there we go, Wildstormers. Look, these alone, it really goes to show you how little you know about something until you know it. When I embarked on Wildstorm Wednesdays, my intention was to do a in-depth analysis, something that could be documented just as like a playlist on the giant interwebs, giant YouTube, of just the idea of delving into something you were not familiar with that you thought you were. You know, like, you can know a lot of stuff, but what you don't know, like the unknown unknowns, it's so vast, it's so deep. These literally blew my mind. I just get excited. I get excited just flipping through them, knowing that I was around at the time, and I thought I was like almost like too good for like Wildstorm Productions, as I was like, a young Peter hitting the comic shops, because at the time, Wildstorm came off as very plastic, flaccid, great launches, but like everything else after, not so much. But getting into the nitty gritty of the guts of this company, not just through the comics, but through the media org that it was as a whole, it's impressive. It really is impressive. And I know I say that WildCATS was Jim Lee's greatest failure. I mean that. But look, I mean that's within the context of Jim Lee being who he is, and along the way you're going to stumble, you're going to fall. WildCATS never really went to the heights of Spawn, but then again, amongst the Image guys, we had Savage Dragon as a failure, we had a failed Young Blood launch, we had a failed Cyberforce cartoon series that never materialized. So a lot of these other guys didn't even get near where Jim Lee got with his WildCATS run. I only wish, and here's the controversial Wildstorm thought for the day. Alan Moore destroyed WildCATS because he took us away from this core, these colors, these shapes, this type of silhouette that we wanted in our team that we know worked. He took this away. And I get it, you gotta chase that nut sometimes. Peter Luca here, Wildstormers out.